Hey everyone, welcome to AstroScoop. This is Jeff, the astrology coaching channel that does a deep dive into the planets and signs of the zodiac. If this is your first time here, please hang in there. Please consider subscribing. I hope you find it interesting. If you're coming back, thank you once again. I truly appreciate it. This week of December 19th to right around the 25th or 26th is the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp. It's an updated version of my 21 Sag cusp video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Capricorn in general and how it relates to this week's planets. And let's also talk about the new moon that's coming up this week in Capricorn. I mentioned in my Sag Cap cusp video that Sagittarius Capricorn people combine earth and fire for a very interesting mix. But this cusp is really heavy. The interesting thing to me about cusp people, and you'll know this if you're a cusp person, there's a sort of a magical blend of those signs. I've had cusp people in the past say to me, I have the best of both signs and none of the worst. Well, that's great. So when you're a cusp person and you're one sign, you can very easily feel like the other sign, especially if that sign's ruler, Jupiter or Saturn, is prominently placed in your chart. For example, let's say you're born December 22nd, coming up this week on the winter solstice. You are a very early Capricorn, right? You're a 0-degree Capricorn, but you still might have a little bit of that wild edge or that wild flair of Sagittarius. So you really need to look at your Jupiter and your Saturn in your natal birth chart, which I could read for you. So if you're a December 22 Capricorn, you need to look at Saturn, the house placement, the aspects, probably more so than Jupiter. Another thing about this cusp and early Capricorn energy is, as you know, Capricorn energy is heavy and serious, but that also indicates that if a Capricorn is secure in themselves and confident, that they're heavy and serious with their play as well. So it's kind of like work hard, play hard. So Capricorn isn't always brooding and serious necessarily in a negative way. The implication is that Saturn gives structure to that work or career, and it also gives structure to the hobby or interest. Early Capricorn individuals can be quite profound and are very serious, and you can even be psychic. Yes, you might not believe in that, especially if you're a Capricorn. You might not believe in any of that fancy stuff, but you can be psychic. And you are psychic if you develop it. Hey everyone, so let's take a look at this new moon this week, ending December right before Christmas. So here's the sun conjunct the moon at 1 degree of Capricorn. This is a Sag Cap cusp, and it's also the very early start of Capricorn. Now the moon in Capricorn energy here, the moon in Capricorn is probably the biggest earth sign that has a need for other people's approval in terms of social status, position, power, prominence in the community. That's usually very important to the moon in Capricorn. Sometimes it's so important that it's at the expense of your emotional well-being and your emotional security and nurturing. So that's a big lesson for the moon in Capricorn here. For those of you that are new to astrology, each moon sign, each moon placement has a sign just like every sun placement, right? So everybody has a sun sign, and then every chart has also a moon sign in one of the 12 energies. So that Capricorn is very serious and needs approval. And of course, all of this Capricorn this month in 2022, coming to an end, is ruled by Saturn in Aquarius. So this can be very rigid as well. So we have to be very careful of pessimistic attitudes and being too rigid with this Saturn in Aquarius, and maybe even a tad cold or impersonal, especially if this is going to touch personal planets like Venus and the moon, and if Saturn is aspecting any of your personal planets, with this fixed energy, you will feel that activation. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.